Fall. I love fall DIYs. Favorite time of year, and I love doing fall DIYs. So this video is a collection of some new fall DIYs. Now, it incorporates some of the shopping haul things that I just recently purchased, and it's also some things from like Michael's and Daiso and some of those different places that you've seen me do a lot of shopping from, and now I'm finally doing some DIYs for you. All right, guys, let's get started. Right, everyone, and for project number one, I'm going to be using this 3D pumpkin that I picked up from Dollar Tree. This was in the plus section, which is why you see that $5 price point, and I do think it was worth every single penny. Now, I did think that this would be a lot of fun to incorporate some of this Dollar Tree wallpaper into, and also I had this scrapbook paper, which I really do love, and of course, you know, purple and blue and white, such great color combinations. Love all of these patterns. I'm actually only going to end up using 2 of the patterns that you're going to see. We're going to be using 2 sheets of each pattern because we've got 2 sides of the pumpkin. Now, if you wanted to cover your pumpkin up in, multiple patterns, by all means, go for it. The first thing I'm going to do is just kind of figure out how this sucker goes together because I want to make sure that I am, conscious of kind of where I'm placing my scrapbook paper, where I'm placing my wallpaper, and also because the stem is kind of the hero piece, if you will. The stem is kind of what I want as my showstopper for this. So I'm going to be using that wallpaper. Now, the wallpaper is great because it does have this kind of peel and stick back, and it makes doing a project like this so easy. If I actually had peel and stick wallpaper and enough to go around, I probably would have covered this entire thing in the wallpaper. How cute would that have been to have that wood grain of a pumpkin on this MDF wood pieces? I think this is super cute. Now, just go ahead and take your pumpkin piece and you are going to center this down on top of the sticky wallpaper like so. I did kind of press that down a little bit and then again, flipping it over, pressing it down again with my hands. If you have a squeegee or if you have a Cricut tool or an old credit card or anything like that, you could definitely go back and do that. I do recommend first, though, cutting off the sides. And when you're doing that, you're going to want to leave a little bit of an edge. And then also you're going to cut these little kind of strip pieces right along your edges because that is going to allow you to flip these pieces inward and kind of follow that curve of the pumpkin. And you're going to want to do this whenever you are doing anything like this. And that's also why I trimmed very closely to my pumpkin. So when it's all done, you're going to have something that looks like this. You can take a little X-Acto knife for a razor and just kind of cut out the kind of center parts that you need to. And now you're going to go through and just replicate what you did with your scrapbook pieces. Now, for this first one, I'm going to use the 2 purple ones that you saw there, but I am going to paint the edges first. I'm going to take out my Waverly Elephant paint. This is a chalk paint that I love working with, and I'm going to paint the edges. This gray is going to go really good with the patterns that you see for my pumpkins, and I do want to make sure that nothing is going to show. Remember, with our wallpaper pieces, we had the adhesive back on that. But with our pieces here and the scrapbook paper, we don't really have that option. So to apply this, you can do 2 things. You can either use glue or you can use Mod Podge. Believe it or not, I actually did a combo of this because I started off with the purple glue. For some reason, mine would not spray, and I just didn't think it was getting thick enough. So I did end up also combining Mod Podge with it. And I just mixed the 2 with my sponge. After I finished the first one, then I also just started working on the second one, doing the exact same process, adding some Mod Podge, adding some purple glue, and just going through and really saturating that. And then again, I did use my squeegee piece just to make sure. Now, this is what it looks like all assembled. And I love how it's got that kind of weathered look because of the pieces, but we are going to cover the stem. I did not like the wood stem, so I'm using this twine that I picked up from Crafter Square. And we're just going to simply glue that and just start wrapping this all around the stem of this pumpkin. And when it's all done, you've got the absolute cutest pumpkin. I love the way this looks. I think this is going to be such a fall staple. This is going to be absolutely adorable in my guest room, and I love the way that this turned out. Now, if you remember a few months ago, I went to Daiso. That was a store that is a Japanese dollar store. And I found these really cute wire pumpkins. And the moment I saw them, I knew I was going to save them for fall. They've been sitting in my fall bin for quite a while now, and it is time to use them. I was thinking that this Potpourri from Dollar Tree could be such a cute addition. And I think that these could just be really cute, like table toppers. Of course, go ahead and remove the price tags and the strings and all that jazz. Now, if you don't have something like this, or you don't have a Daiso store that's near you, I think you could look for a couple different types of options. I know that I've seen these kind of wire pumpkins in a lot of different places. You may have to get creative with the way that the potpourri is kind of staying in there. I know for this bag of potpourri, there are lots of smaller pieces in here, and I just want to have something that's going to have some substance to it, and it's going to stand up, and obviously something that's not going to fall through all of the wire kind of pieces there. Now, this particular batch is I believe this is the gardenia and thyme or lemon and thyme flavor or scent. I'm certainly not eating it, and I'm going to stuff it inside these pumpkins. Now, these particular pumpkins will kind of come apart, so it's actually really, really easy. I'm going to grab that gardenia that's in there and definitely add that. And then I'm just going to add some of these bright, colorful pieces. There are some fun eucalyptus pieces. There are some lemon slices that have looked like they've been potpourriized. I don't know what. Is it dried out? I guess it's dried out. And I'm just going to fill these up with all kinds of fun little pieces. And then when I snap it back together, I will go ahead and kind of fill in any areas here. Now, my second pumpkin actually did not come apart, so I did have to kind of feed everything through. I added some bows, and how cute are these? And they smell really good too. Now, this next DIY is going to be super, super easy. If you have not seen these cute little vases at Dollar Tree, they come in white and they also come in black. I grabbed the white one. I also grabbed this harvest candle during my last haul. I wanted to actually just use this metal leaf. So I'm going to use it, and then of course the candle I will use for another time. Now, the leaf does have this twine on it, which I originally was going to toss, but I think I'm actually going to incorporate it in with this beautiful ribbon. I'm obsessed with this ribbon or this twine. Kind of combo, we'll call it. I grabbed this at Hobby Lobby last year, and I am using it as sparingly as possible because I really do like it. Now, I've seen it out at Hobby Lobby this year, so definitely check it out. Now, I think I'm going to take my two pieces here and just kind of wrap them around the neck of the vase here and just create something very, very simple that just has a fall twist to it and something I can put some fresh flowers in, or, some fresh harvest plants or something. And for this, again, I just took that twine, tied it around, and then for this piece, I'm actually going to reserve some of this extra long string here, this extra long twine, and just tie it around and cut off the excess. The excess I'll save for something else. I added some floral stems, and this is how cute it looks. Look how adorable this is, and it is the perfect complement to my guest room. Now, I've seen these wooden hoops at Dollar Tree for quite a while, and I did buy 4 packages the last time I went, and I was kind of wanting something that almost had a little bit of a farmhouse twist to it, but also something that was metal and, had some substance to it. And making these spheres are so, so easy. You will buy 3 packages because you're going to want 3 of each size ring. And you're just literally going to put them together like you see me doing here to create these really cool looking orbs. Now, I have seen orbs like this at stores like Home Goods, and Pottery Barn that are quite expensive. And if you think about it, I paid what, $3.75 for this packages, or for these 3 packages, because I'm trying to think about math now with the $1.25 per package now that Dollar Tree has increased their price points. But my gosh, these are so easy. Now you could certainly add some glue if you want to. I actually didn't add any glue because I was thinking maybe I'd want to recycle these. I took them outside and I have the most beautiful steel colored spray paint. This is like a farmhouse steel color, and I'm obsessed with it. I love it. And when you spray it on these metal or these wood orbs, they end up looking like metal. How cute and how substantial looking are these? I love them. Now, this next DIY is kind of a Michaels and a Dollar Tree combo. I found these great octagon shaped, they're like hanging shelves, but they've got a picture hanger on the back and they've got twine. So they're kind of like cool. And I'm going to bust one of the back sides out of this one. That did not sound appropriate, but I think you know what I mean by this. And then any of these kind of straggler pieces, we're just going to pull those off and then sand away any of that excess or any of those rough spots, because we do want these to kind of fit together as tightly as possible. Now, I'm going to take this picture hanger that's on the back off of this. I always save those. And then I'm going to pull that twine off and then just kind of sand that down again to make sure it's nice and smooth. Now, for the piece that I kind of took the backside out of it, I'm now going to use that on top of the other piece. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I am going to create kind of a planter out of these. And I'm pushing them together. I did use Surebonder's wood glue. Now I'm going to take my antiquing wax, and believe it or not, yes, I'm still using that same dirty looking jar of antiquing wax that I've had forever, and I love it though. It is my absolute favorite, and I love the way it looks on like craft wood and Dollar Tree wood. All I'm going to do is just, as you see, I'm applying it to my kind of antiquing wax cloth there, and then wiping off the excess. And then for any of those smaller pieces, I just took a brush. Now for this part, I'm adding some feet onto the bottom of this, and I'm just going to make sure I have a bead in each corner. These beads were already painted white, so I didn't even have to worry about painting them. Now you've got a nice solid base for your planters, and then I'm going to add some Dollar Tree rocks. Again, something very simple. Most Dollar Trees have these. And then I'm going to add some succulents. I have to cut off the tips on them just a little bit, but how cute is this? There's something about fall and rocks and succulents that just make me think about the wintertime, and I love it. And then for my last DIY, I'm actually going to be using these pumpkins from Dollar Tree. You know how much I loved these pumpkins. This is the exact idea that I thought about when I saw these. Now, for your pumpkins, go ahead and do yourself a favor. Cut the tags off. Don't try and rip them off, because if you do, you're going to poke holes in your pumpkins. And the way Dollar Tree put these price tags on these pumpkins, they're already putting holes in them, so you don't want to mess anything up. Now, speaking of messing things up, I filmed this in a extremely slow speed for some reason. And now I'm trying to attempt to speed the video up, but basically all I'm doing is taking 2 Hawaiian hula skirts, or a Hawaiian hula skirt from the kids section, and splitting it up. I'm literally just kind of cutting off a piece of it so you have nice long raffia pieces. And then I'm going to take it and split it into 2 parts. And then I'm just using some tape very simply to separate them. And you've got them in my wooden dough bowl here. Now I'm adding these maple leaf stems. Again, I've got the orange and the red kind of stem, and then I'm going to add the yellow on this side. And then I'm just going to start filling it with my pumpkins. I am literally going to kind of play with the leaves a little bit. And then for the pumpkins, I am just going to start adding them. How beautiful is this for a centerpiece? This I am obsessed with. It is going to go on my coffee table and be a staple in my living room. All right, you guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know in the comments below which ones were your favorite. I would have to say that the wood bread bowl, or dough bowl, bread bowl, dough bowl that is on my coffee table right now. I absolutely love. My neighbors are looking at me like I'm a little crazy when they come over because I've got fall decor already out. But you know what? I'm getting started early. Tell me in the comments what were your favorites. And of course, if you are one of my OGs and one of my long-term subscribers, thank you guys so much for being here. I really, really appreciate it. And of course, if you're brand new, welcome to you as well. All right, everybody, take care. Bye-bye.